Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of a Wild Time Podcast. Listen, go back, check out our previous episodes. We've had Rick Rude 2 on. We've had Ron Frazier, Randy Couture's boxing coach. We've had Jeremy Horn, Gabriel Nopal Gonzaga, and that's just tip of the iceberg, baby. We've had Houston Alexander, who has a bare knuckle fight coming up. If I'm not mistaken, it may be for the title. So good luck to Houston Alexander. And man, tonight I'm excited because listen, anybody that knows me knows I'm a professional wrestler, and I get beat up, I get banged up. Well, I did 2 shows this past weekend, one in Salyersville and the other one up here at North Point, Pikeville. I ran into how can I say this? I ran into a dude with the cure for what I had been dealing with. And I've been dealing with an elbow pain, and Ben Jones, Benny, yeah. he introduced me to Bo, and we cut a commercial real fast.
Yeah.
We cut a commercial at Salyersville for this. It's called Appalachian Heels 11, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a salve. How do you say that?
Salve. Or skin cream.
A salve.
Salve.
No, it's a salve. Like my papa used to get some black salve.
Yeah,
so it's a salve.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did the commercial. Stan Sierra had did one. And the next night we run in at North Point because y'all been going to these wrestling shows, haven't you?
Yeah.
Anything, I guess, where there's a lot of physical contact.
We started out like that, and man, we just really enjoy the wrestling.
Now,
yeah. We're hitting everyone we can close by,
There's nothing like pro wrestling around here.
There's not.
And it was, I mean, honestly, I've got a good story to tell about that anyways. But Appalachian Heels 11 is the salve. You want to tell us what's in it? I mean, tell it just.
Well, the way we came up with the name and Appalachian Heels 11, and the 11, we got 11 different ingredients in it, and it's the 11th time that we've changed the recipe to actually perfect it to where you could really market it and make it, really a good product. It's got coconut oil, menthol crystals, eucalyptus oil, peppermint oil. We grow our own hemp. So it's got 2 strains of CBD hemp, 1 strain of CBG hemp, turmeric root, ginger root, cayenne pepper, and beeswax in it. And we make sure everything's from America. Everything that we use is American made. And we are the only ones that touch it. We're the only ones actually.
From putting the plant in the ground to putting it in this bottle, it doesn't leave anyone, or it doesn't leave our hands.
Well, I've seen pictures on Facebook. I started digging, man, and seen you all like making it, and stuff. And I thought that was just so cool of a process that you all did it. When did you get into that? I mean, what made you all get into it? And
I've always fooled with agriculture. I had tractors and always worked, plowed people's gardens and everything. And then in 2018, hemp became legal, and I didn't know nothing about hemp.
Right.
But a guy at church comes to me, a friend of mine, and says, "Hey, Bo, can you put out 14 acres of hemp?" I said, "Yeah, sure I can." From there, I got into just researching it and playing with it. And next year, 2019, we put our own hemp out. Ain't nothing wrong with my back, but it kind of hurt from fooling with the hemp. I just recently retired. And so I went and made a paste up with the hemp that we had sitting in front of us.
Just like an old poultice,
Yeah, it worked. And then the next thing I know, my aunt calls me, and she was having some real arm issues. She actually could not raise her right arm. So I'm like, I'll bring you some of this stuff up I made. And lo and behold, by the time I got to the house, she's like, "Oh my God, you got to come back up here."
I remember
that. She just flapping her arm like, "Wait." She goes, "I can move it now. I can move it." That's when we really started playing with it and trying to perfect it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, like I said, at North Point the other night, we set up at the table. You guys set up with me. Ireland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our old buddy Ireland. I wish he would have came too.
I tried to get him too.
Well, Ireland, you better be back on part 2 to this one. Listen.
Way to go, Greg.
So I put some of the non-THC on mine. And it was almost, I went and had a anti-inflammatory shot and a steroid shot earlier in the week. And it helped a little bit. But I'm telling you, the immediate relief that this product, it absolutely just like floored me. I couldn't believe it. I was took back. Honestly, I was at a loss for words because, it's almost like playing a trick on you or something.
It is.
It really, so I go to the back, like and everybody's like, a few of them guys was talking back there. They said, "Have you tried the salve they got up there?" And I was like, "Man, I just put some on, and my elbow feels like it did before I got hurt."
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the night, you had Stan Sierra back there. You had Daniel, the liberal. You had all these old guys that's took bumps. I'll say it like that. Guys that have took bumps on the regular more than me. And they were just like, "Man, we got to get out there. This is like, everybody's back there rubbing it on them and stuff." And everybody was putting it over. And like I said, when I get an acre of paint, I'll stick the Icy Hot or the Biofreeze. This is different, man. The smell's pleasant. I thought the smell was pleasant. You just rub it in, and gosh,
by the time you get it rubbed in, it's already working.
Yes, immediate.
And it lasts.
Yeah,
it don't just go away.
No, because when I go over there and get on that tricep, when I get on my tricep pull downs, it was killing me so bad last week that I just about gave up through the workout. And today, man, I've just been over with my push downs and never felt nothing. And that was just, I put it on right before I went in to working out.
And see, that affects your form too.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
well, you work out a lot and stuff. Will, do you pretty much put it on before? Do you have any issues? I guess you're 30, you say?
Mm-hmm.
So you really still young in the game.
Yeah, but now, like my wrist, my elbows, just like you, it's that tennis elbow. That's been years.
Yeah.
Because I used to work out a whole lot, and I don't know if it's just worn down or what, but my ankles, my knees, all that. So, I'm not even kidding. The first time I tried it, just before I started my lift, because I tend to go more towards the direction of heavyweight low rep.
Yeah. Well, that's
just what I enjoy.
I do a heavy day a week, and I do a light night with more reps.
Yeah. And so the first time I tried it, I think I was doing back and buys, and he said, "Put this on and give it a try." I was like, "All right, we'll see what's up," And I did, and it was crazy because, if you're, like, I'll hammer curl with the 60s, right?
Yeah.
And by the time you get to that 8th rep on that 3rd set, you don't get to the 8th rep. You get to like the 5th, the 6th. But now, even though I still had the size like the pump, I didn't feel that tenseness. I didn't feel that tightness.
Yeah.
It was almost effortless. I could still just go. And it was like that for the next workout or the next lift, and it didn't end. It went through the whole lift. And then the next day I noticed you don't have that soreness. It's like that lactic acid never even came through.
So let me ask you something. From this product, like, what does it do? Like, you explained it to me the other night. You laid it down. You said it opens up the blood vessels around the inflammation, or like, how does that? What's the process? I guess it has
the science behind it.
Yeah, the science behind it. Thank you, Will.
Okay, it's like me. Okay, I'm 56, and I got one left foot. My God, we got one left foot. But my left foot, you got a bunch of broken blood vessels around my ankle. It's circulation, what it is. But every Wednesday, I'll just put it on my legs, feet, and hips, and you can watch your blood vessels just disappear while you're putting it on. So I don't know exactly how it works as far as circulation, but you can actually see it working, especially if you got stuff like that going on. And it just attacks inflammation. And if you use it as a preventative, you don't even have, muscle fibers are breaking like when you're working out.
Right.
They're breaking and then they're building back. And when they break, it's trauma to that muscle. So it builds up inflammation. So that's where you get your pain. I'm not a professional, but that's all I assume.
Well, hey, listen, you got her broke down.
That's where you get your pain from.
Yeah.
And you can attack that and not even have to deal with the inflammation or the pain.
And two, I noticed, we were talking before, the way just CBD works in general. See, the thing is, the ingredients we got in here tend to make it more bioavailable. You got your cayenne, you got your ginger, your turmeric root, and all that stuff is good for letting it get through that skin barrier. Well, the way CBD works in general, how I've been explained to it, is that on a nerve, say there's not enough electricity going from the body part going to the brain. That's why a lot of these people, when you tense up, like a cramp or whatever, it's hard to reopen your hand. Well, now how that CBD molecule works, it's almost like a patchwork. like it'll build that bridge back over, so that way that energy can now go. And I think that has a lot to do with or I think that's a real big benefit in the aftercare of working out, anything like that. In the what do you call that?
I don't know, but you caught me there where you said cramp. I used to have horrible leg cramps. I ain't had a leg cramp in 2 years now.
Really? Do you think that's what?
Oh,
You had them every night.
I had them every night. My wife, I had to get her up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and she'd say, "Which leg is it?"
Yeah, God.
And that's once a week. I choose it once a week on them legs.
So, like, all right, my mom, like, she's been down, like, she's had multiple surgeries. I mean, she's had major surgeries on her back. And for the past few months, when I would go up there, man, she's really in pain a lot with her hip now. And I was going to ask you, she had been like, since I took that up there last night, my mom and dad, my dad's had a knee replacement. He's been cut on a lot also. I took that up there and we tried it like that night. Like Dad had Mom take him in there, put it on it, and she put it on her hip. Well, this morning my phone was ringing off. She was telling people like, "This is a miracle," She's like,
"That's what we are, miracle." I've heard that word so many times.
She said, "Can you get a hold of him, Adam?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna talk to him about sponsoring my show and stuff. I may be able to get, we'll spread the word." Well, she said, "Well, do me a favor." She said, "Ask him about." She's got steel rods in her back.
Oh Lord.
She said but she was scared to put it around that. Would that affect her?
No, that will not hurt nothing. This is natural. I mean, you could actually eat it. Our face cream. If you got a dog, we raise Maltese also. They'll open them jars like surgeons to get to that.
Yeah,
and
because they like that coconut oil.
They love that, and it's a superfood. Is what it is. The broadleaf plantain, which is in both of them.
Well, let me ask you another thing. You brought that up. The face cream. What got y'all into the face cream?
So, how the face cream worked, I had developed, I've always had psoriasis and eczema.
I do too,
always had, rough skin. Well, what was it, probably about 3 years ago? I developed, I forget what the name of the disease is, but it's like a cousin or sister to psoriasis.
Yeah.
And I developed it on my eyelids. Well, I've been on steroids since I was born.
Yeah.
For my lungs, skin, all that. And at that point, the only steroid that would help it makes you go blind. You can't fit around your eyes.
Oh gosh.
So I was pretty much left with do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking frozen water bottles to work just to hold on my eyes to keep the heat off, and all the while it never stopped the skin from flaking off. So he come up with how to make the face cream, and it's it doesn't have the peppermint, it doesn't have the menthol or the cayenne. It's more gentle.
Actually, what it's got in it is coconut oil. Once again, there are 2 strains of CBD hemp, 1 strain of CBG hemp, broadleaf plantain, oatmeal, and beeswax.
And that's it.
And they're actually using it on diaper rashes on babies, the cradle cat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very gentle, but golly, it's effective.
I mean, I put it on once, just on my eyes. And, naturally, over the course of the next few days, I kept doing it. But the next morning when I woke up, my skin wasn't flaking off.
Yeah.
And that's the last time I've seen any symptom of that disease.
I was gonna say, man, your face looks good. I mean, heck, it's yours.
I've not had to use it on my eyes since. And what the doctors were telling me is there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. You got to deal with this. So I mean, that's
that to does me hurt our business sometimes. I mean,
sometimes it's done with. I mean,
well, listen, they can the people if it cures them, then they can just push the other product.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, and two, if it does that like it did with me, took it away completely to date. You know what? That's worth it.
Oh yeah,
that's what it's about.
Yes, because you all are on to something here, and it's like I said. I mean, do you all got like plans to further this, or y'all kind of just going to stay with the Appalachian 11 right now and the face cream? Or
well, we've talked. We work with a lot of doctors. We work with a lot of dermatologists. Chiropractors are using our stuff, selling it, and I just think if you get one thing that you can concentrate on,
mm-hmm.
because we can do everything. We're set up at the house. We can make the gummies. We can make
anything that needs processing.
Anything,
yeah.
So if we wanted to, and we've done a little bit, but these have really just worked amazingly. I mean, like I'm pretty old. I'll be out working 12 hours a day, you know, come in
doing what he
sore.
loves. You know,
You're right.
you're
I mean,
supposed to do that in your
Yeah.
retirement. You know, that's,
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've got, Lord willing, I've got 8 years left till I retire, and then you know, hopefully, I'll keep doing this. I don't know how much longer I can wrestle, and that's something I enjoy to do a lot. You know, I enjoy doing it, but this podcast thing, I'm going to keep doing it because I've had success with it. But like you said, man, when you retire, you're supposed to be able to enjoy it, and you guys have, you know, your father and son, and you get to do this stuff together. And I mean, you're blessed to, I mean,
Yeah,
this is
perfect.
something that's going to be able to just,
yeah.
I mean, I've got a good feeling about it. I mean, I'm not even,
Well, you've experienced it yourself.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
mean-
And my mom, if you guys had knew the situation of her, for her and my dad to call me and be like, you know, who's that fella selling that stuff? And then, you know him? And I was like, man, listen, I'm actually going to have, I'm in the I told him, because I was at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I was like, man, I'm going to work on getting them out of the house now. I'm going to shoot an episode. That's how much I believe in this product.
And
I
so
mean,
much of it, and this stuff got a bad rap. You know, people were throwing stuff together and charging $89
They'll put
for
a tiny bit of CBD isolate and shea butter and some other oil like safflower oil or something like that, and then they'll sell it for $90. And after so much getting ripped off, people are going to catch on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just.
And we try to make ours affordable for everybody and not slack burn somebody up. But the big thing is, we want ours to work. I would not expect you to get our stuff if it don't work.
Right.
If we wasn't using it, you know, I wouldn't expect you to be using
well,
it every day.
I don't fake the funk.
Yeah.
And if I've came across something that I believe in, that I've seen work, then I'm going to do my best to help people out and get it, because I've seen it. I've seen what it's did for my mom. I've seen what it did for my elbow the other night. I seen what it did just about 2 hours ago for a bench press.
That's neat.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, worked it in, and
you know, there's nothing more aggravating than that elbow.
gosh,
When you're in the middle of the
yes.
lift and you're on that down part and it hits.
Oh man, and then, you know, it did. I put it on immediately. Then I got under the bench immediately. So that first set, I still had a little bit of aggravation, but the second set, it was gone. And then the reason it did, I rushed it. I mean, I didn't have time for it to set in. And
Did you put it all the way around
like you told me?
Okay.
Right all the way around. Yeah.
Okay.
Application is a big part of it.
Yeah.
And we, you know, you're talking about your mom and dad. Man, we've had elderly ladies with the rheumatoid arthritis in their hands, and they'll start rubbing that in, and they're slow, you know, and it takes several minutes. But you start seeing them hands coming together, and
they'll notice it while they're rubbing it.
They cry, and it makes you almost cry. You know,
yeah,
I'm an emotional guy. If I see that, I'd have to carry tissues around.
And it's like they don't notice at first because they'll be talking, and then they'll realize they're, oh my Lord.
You see them fingers coming across. It's the most amazing.
That makes it worth it alone. Just that one time I see makes it worth it.
But here's the thing. We cannot say this stuff does anything. I mean, all we can do, FDA requirement, all we can say, this is a skin cream, you know?
Yeah.
But we can tell you what people have told us and what we've witnessed, you know?
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it is, I mean, I think do y'all have like a shop set up? Do you all have, or is it kind of you put an order in, come pick it up?
You can, or you can come by our little processing center, or, you know, and a lot of people here in Pikeville, they can go by a dermatologist office and buy it.
Oh, they've got it at dermatologists?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones? Ronald Hall?
Pikeville Dermatology,
Okay.
Lavender. Dr. Klein has it.
They also have it at that core.
The dynamic physical therapy carries it.
Man,
they sell
Dr. Sanders in High Hat, which is right down the road.
Right,
High
yeah.
Hat, Dr. Sanders, Minuteman Medicine.
So I mean, if you're close to one of those areas, you can stop by there and pick it up.
I'm telling you, man, it is it's the real deal. Bo's Tractor Works. Now, I mean, are you all going to continue to go to events around here? I mean, I would even hit up basketball games. If there's a sporting event, I don't care if it's checkers. I'd show up and say, man, it's it's my help your hand as you moving the pieces.
We just somehow, I always grew up watching wrestling. I love wrestling.
Who's your favorite of all time?
Of all time, Man, it's a Mongolian stomper.
The Mongolians, a legit tough guy. Too. The Mongolians, that's awesome answer.
Stomper, you know,
what about you, Will? Did you like wrestling?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I mean, you know, I like seeing the old Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan, man.
Classic.
You know,
One of the greatest matches ever, man.
You know, you could. I mean, it was spot on. It was big. It was loud. And it was exciting.
And Andre, you know, Hulk didn't know if Andre was going to put him over or not until the main. I mean, he wouldn't tell him, you know, if you know the story behind that match, Andre told him, you know, didn't tell him the finish until it was time, you know. So Hogan didn't know if he was going over or not. And then finally, you know, Andre said, all right. And then he planted his hand on him and he body slammed him. And
that just makes it that much more authentic. Too,
yes.
You know, that's.
I did get Randy Savage on the back down there at Marlowe's Country Palace.
Oh, man.
Rogers.
Man,
yeah, I mean,
he was a good one too, man.
ICW, you know, Bart Batten wrestled with him. He helped train me along with Michael Jameson and Kobe Carmichael. But Bart would tell me stories about traveling with his brother Brad, the Batten twins, and how he would work with Randy and Lanny and all of them. Man, they trained them, but. I mean, Macho Man, when you hear stories about when they came to Marlowe's or they came to John M. Stumbo, I mean, there was people trying to stab him.
Oh,
I know, yeah.
I mean, it was crazy times back in the day.
It was wild. It was.
But you talk about man, just superstardom.
Yeah,
really. So
I mean, yeah, he went from ICW, like an outlaw organization, to Vince McMahon just getting him, man, and putting a rocket on his back. And he had charisma. He had the voice. Heck, he was a minor league baseball player, major league. He played for the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, that is right.
He played for the Cincinnati Reds, man. He was legit.
Yeah, he's an athlete.
A true athlete.
And he was a worker too. I mean, his match with Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, the same match.
Yeah, I've seen that.
With Andre and Hogan. You think about what a card that was. Them two matches alone. I mean. But you know, I grew up. I loved, you know, the Great Muta. I loved the Road Warriors.
Yeah, the Road Warriors were good. Yeah, I like.
Then got a little bit older. I started really getting into psychology of it. I started liking Tully Blanchard from the Four Horsemen and how he would get heat and have everybody hating him.
Yeah.
And then you know, Rick Rude was like my hero.
Oh, I love Rick Rude. Yeah.
Rick Rude is like
him and Jake the Snake Roberts fighting it out.
Oh, hey, listen, I talked to
Jake the Snake was a wild one.
I talked to Jake the Snake. He was at Pikeville. Actually, I met him a couple times, but I talked to Ricky Steamboat and Jake Roberts. They were up here at this Comic Con, and I had a Rick Rude shirt on. And Jake, you know, he's got a real Bradley voice right now.
Yeah, he does. He's on oxygen.
I asked, he's on oxygen. I asked Ricky Steamboat. I said, you know, I heard there was heat between Flair and Rude, man, back in the early '90s. I said, do you know anything about it? Because Barry Windham knew, and he wouldn't tell me about it. He didn't want to talk about it. I can tell.
Barry wouldn't talk to you at all.
Was you up there? Yeah. He was quiet, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I was like, I heard you were brought in, man, to save Flair. And he's like, well, Eric Bischoff might have just had me keep an eye out. He didn't want to say what happened. But now Ricky Steamboat said, let me tell you something. He said, if Rick Rude had got a hold of Ric Flair, he'd still be laying there.
Oh.
And then Jake the Snake took that oxygen off and said, he would have effing killed him. He said he was dangerous. And I was like, man, you know, I live for these stories, you know, these backstage stories and stuff. But listen, Bo's Tractor, you know, we just talking you from Coon Creek. This is Coon Creek. If anybody knows me, knows I have a really close friend who was my MMA coach, all around great human being, Brandon Goff. He's been excited about this episode. You know, I don't know if Brandon has tuned into my other ones, but he was pumped about this one. So you trained with him, Will, didn't you? A little bit.
Oh, yeah, we had fun.
Give us a lowdown about it. You were at the Shark Tank a few times. Did you go to his house? Did you ever go to Brandon?
Oh, yeah.
He's my second cousin.
Brandon is?
Yeah, we're kin. Yeah.
Oh,
let me tell you
the
something.
garage, the battles.
The yard. Out there on, so, you know, I got bad allergies anyway.
Yeah.
He just cut his grass, and I'm already sneezing and snotting. Dude, yeah, we were training with him and Squirrel up there.
Oh, yeah.
Day. You know, Matt,
yeah.
And because he was getting ready to go on that Tough Man, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we sparred a little bit. And let me tell you, that dude got me in an upside down crucifix.
Matt did.
And literally, I ate the dirt. I literally ate dirt. Fresh cut grass. My nose busted and bleeding. But now
we did the same thing. We were rolling when I was preparing for my fight. and Squirrel had a strength about him that was different.
Yeah.
It was, you felt, I mean, it was crazy.
Power.
Because at the time we were in the ring and he was like, you know, I was doing multiple rounds and I was already tired and he was on top of me and he's like, man, fight out of it, get up. And I'm like, and it's easier said than done.
He's quick.
Yeah.
I mean, to be as big as he is, he's quick. But
and I love the camaraderie with those guys.
Yeah.
Like I've trained a lot of different places, and when I got into MMA, I had friends, I had people that I know that just wanted to go in there and fight like it was a tough man, and that wasn't me. Number one, I wanted to train right.
Yeah.
I don't care if it took me 2 or 3 years. I was cool with that, but in my mind, I wanted to know when I went in that cage that I was prepared as good as I could be.
Those drills will prepare you better than anything. Yeah. You have to drill.
The first time, you know, I trained with Ryan Bryant, I trained with some other guys, and you know, everything went good. Ryan kind of moved off, and I'll tell you what, we fought at Belfry, my first fight, and I was in the locker room with Squirrel and Brandon. They had a guy that fought that night, and they talked to me like, you know, like I was just a buddy, and I took up with Brandon, and I always told him, I said, man, if I fight again, because I got chose to go on a reality show, an MMA reality show, and the fighters were chose. It was going to be on an island out from Georgia. It was called Warrior Island. So I got up with Brandon. I'm like, dude, I'm on this show and I want you to train me.
Absolutely.
So Brandon, he done the science. He come up my house. We go to Mayfield's and his yard there were some battles in his garage.
Yeah. And
man, he's just a great guy. And a lot of my training here that I do in the Bears Den with these kids, man, is stuff Brandon did with me.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great teacher.
Yes, and a great human being. He's a motivator too.
He is.
He's a great motivator.
He knows exactly how to do it without being any bit off-putting, or you know, you don't ever feel that fear with him. You know, it's instructive, but still, you know, he's your buddy.
Yes, and he's looking out for you.
Yeah,
he's looking out for you, and that's what. You know, I don't know if he's moving back anytime soon, but he had mentioned like wanting to.
And that'd be neat.
I told him, I said, right here, because he came down here and he just stopped in and I had kids down there. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I said, how much time you got? He's like, I can stay a little bit. I said, work them 2 kids out right there and I'll take care of them. He had a couple of them Pikeville athletes over about to throw up. I mean, he's like, come on, you can do anything for 15 seconds. Come on.
I never will forget his swim out drills. My arms just bruised. Black and purple from having to swim out of those holes.
Yeah, you go down.
Yeah.
But the thing I'll never forget is a week before the fight, we were in the ring and we were doing a block. You know, if he threw a leg kick, I took it and came off of the cross. We drilled that for no specific reason, really. Mm-hmm. We just drilled it. And that fight, as soon as we came out, we circled twice. The dude throws a leg kick, drops his hand, and just instinct.
Yep.
Boom. He drops. And
it's second nature.
And it's like, in my mind, you know, I can't believe this just happened because we just went over
it worked.
Yeah. It just, and I won, man. And I'll never forget it. And I can honestly tell somebody, you know, Brandon Goff knows his stuff and is a heck of a trainer.
Inside and out. He's a professional.
Yes. And he could have ran. I mean, if he would have had the time and he could have really built, and he did build a good fight team. He built,
he did.
His guys won.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think, Devin, didn't he fight? He had a guy, Devin, I can't remember his last name, but he was a good fighter. But, you know, Brandon, you got to your story. We got to tell you Brandon Goff's story. Now we're going to get back to the Bose Tractor Works here before we shut it down.
See you, Brandon.
Brandon,
come see us.
You better come see us.
We'll have him on next time.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll do a top 10 best UFC heavyweights or light heavyweights or something.
Yeah.
But now Will and Bo, like I said, this product is the real deal or the real deal. That's what y'all should put.
The real deal.
Yeah. But I'm so tickled because, like I said, y'all are going to have. This thing's going to expand because you guys are sponsored. This is going to be actually tonight's episode is sponsored by Bose Tractor Works, the Appalachian Hills 11. So from now on, you know, I've got tonight's episode's also brought to you by Weird Ass Hot Dogs also. So we're starting to get some sponsorship on this, and I'm excited because, you know, Rick Rude Jr., I stay in contact with him. He's training for a bodybuilding competition right now in Georgia. Okay. So, you know, I'm gonna tell him.
Put some sign on.
Yes, I'm gonna tell him, man. You know, get up with them, and they may send you some stuff. to take care of the recovery.
Yeah,
because that's what
recovery. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah.
that's what
Recovery. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah.
and then that's what's going to. I'm excited. So I was talking about now the drug testing thing. Does it show? Does the THC show up? Because like me and a couple other guys, we have CDLs and we're kind of spooked. I've been taking
our strongest one. We have these the AWs. They are actually THC free. We do take them, go them for the
Every batch is
COAs.
tested for their
Every
COAs.
batch is tested. The other one, the batch 3, which is the last batch that we made, it came back THC free, non-detectable. And the batch 4, we worked to get more potency out of it because we wanted it as strong as we could get it,
Yeah.
but with as little as THC in it. And it came back. Each jar contains 0.01% THC. So that's less than a trace amount. You could rub that all over you for years. And
to think of how many barriers it has to go through.
Skin, it's got to get through to the blood. I thought that too. I was thinking because I know a lot of the synthetic marijuana that people was taking, they were saying that it was like popping false positives and stuff like that.
That stuff was popping false positives on so much stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't even,
that stuff is scary too.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, because I know guys. Look at me. I need to talk to an English teacher now. I know guys. I knew guys that had talked about this like messing with people's minds and stuff because there was so much
it
processed
destroys
in it.
It destroys your
it
kills your central nervous system. That's how it works. I mean, that's the reaction.
Yeah,
is it just eats away your central nervous system.
And actually, that's what our stuff's all about. Is
natural.
It's all natural. You gonna get to be 90 years old and liver still gonna be there, kidney still gonna be there.
There's no reason someone should be looking at their deathbed at 60 or 70 years old. In my belief, no, that's the halfway point.
Yeah.
I mean, you should still have a good plenty of
40
years
left.
after that to enjoy. Do what you want to do. If you want to go hiking, there's no reason you shouldn't be 75 or looking at like, well, when I'm 75, I ain't gonna be able to do that no more.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to live like that.
Me and we got the same beliefs, man. Because I'm, I laugh. My wife gets on to me all the time. I never want to grow up. I'm 38 years old, and like she's like, well, I wouldn't get out and tell nobody. I was like, well, I don't, I understand. I pay bills, and and I had Matthias Hughes on. He was an action star in the 80s. He was in movies with Lorenzo Lamas, Dolph Lundgren, and I was telling him, I was like, man, he said, don't ever worry about aging. He said, every year you age is a present, pretty much, a gift. He said, don't ever grow up neither. He said, I'm 70, almost 70. I ain't growing up. He said, I'm going to keep, and it's just that it makes sense, stay young at heart and try to take care of your body. I mean, as long as you can.
Well, you let age be your friend. I mean, you work out every day. The more years you got going working out, you're getting better health. You're
going to live a better life in general.
That's a fact.
I mean, nobody wants to spend 10 years in a bed.
No.
Or in a chair.
And let me tell you something. My mom right now, I mean, she spends a lot of her time just in pain and can't move. And like I went up there yesterday and she was up, good and stuff. And I was like, Mom, here's that stuff I was telling you about. And she tried it on Dad first. Dad loved it. And then Mom was like, she was in business this morning. She was like,
and that's what it's all about, is it gave her that part of her life.
Yes.
That's the whole point, the whole purpose of
it. She's so worried at the moment that she's like, well, do you think that'd just be one time? And I'm like, no, to my knowledge, you just keep using it.
Do it when you need it.
You need it. I mean, if you ain't going to use it every day, you
don't say how you want. It ain't going to hurt you none.
That's like back to my legs and feet. I use it once a week, but the next time I use it on my arms when I work out.
Right. Well, you told me Ireland also told me that when y'all were working out that he'd just get in the middle of a set, go over, buddy, and
we keep it right there. We keep it right there.
That's awesome.
I got I got a jar in the bathroom, a jar in my bedroom. I mean, because why not?
Every truck we got's got a jar.
Yeah, jar in the kitchen. I mean,
this is a miracle. Like I said, you've heard that word a lot. And I'm not. Listen, they ain't paying me to do this. This is 100% shoot. That's what we say in wrestling when something is real. That's a shoot because I used it. I mean, and my mom and dad, they used it. And the face cream, like my little boy, He's got a little bit of acne popping up. And I talked to you, you know, would that help it?
Yeah. Oh Lord, yeah.
I'll tell you this: I shave my head, just about every other day, and that's what I put on my scalp to keep it from getting infected hairs and real bad acne.
That's what's coming from our doctor's offices, choosing it on different things.
Diabetic ulcer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to read this to you guys on here. So you guys stop me if I'm going wrong.
See, that's the heels and there's the AW.
Okay, so this is what the doctors are saying that Appalachian Heals 11
It's working
helps.
for them. They're using,
Neuropathy. Is that how you say
Neuropathy.
it? Neuropathy. Arthritis, eczema, fibromyalgia. Gosh almighty, I'm an idiot.
Fibromyalgia.
Psoriasis, sciatica, pre and post workout, reduced swelling, insect repellent.
It does.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whenever we're growing, we get ate up in horse flies. We put that on every day, and they don't come around.
That's
Scabies,
yeah.
muscle cramps, back pain, muscle pain, joint pain, insect sting, insect bites, poison ivy, decongestant, burns, post joint replacement, athlete's foot, restless leg syndrome, TMJ syndrome, gout. So that helps gout?
It will eat gout up.
Really?
Yes.
There's a lot of people that I know that suffer with the gout, man. Like if they get it in their big toe or something, they're down for a few days.
I guarantee it.
No, I'll rephrase that. I've been told by people that's got gout that it eats gout up.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys listen, what I just told you all was the Appalachian Heals 11 ointment or salve, my bad. That's all, and we're getting ready to go right now. The Appalachian AW. Now, what is this exactly?
AW stands for anywhere.
You can use it anywhere. I mean, you almost get cayenne pepper and menthol.
Right. So that's something that you can put in those sensitive areas that you
Yeah.
don't want cayenne or menthol.
Yeah.
So what the doctors are saying that it has helped is diabetic ulcer, sunburn, damaged skin, dry and chapped skin, any open rash or sore, diaper rash, reduced scarring, groin rash, hemorrhoids, reduce wrinkles, reduce eye bags, acne, skin irritation, new tattoo, bed sores, skin graft, heat rash, face and body cream, and rosacea. Now, did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like I just went like on a test and I had out of all these words.
Spelling.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to mention that's not just what doctors say. We've seen every single one of those happen.
Yeah.
Gosh almighty, man. That's a lot of stuff to help. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. And the rest of most of this is just Facebook testimonies where they send us pictures of what's going on with them.
They'll send us
That's
before
our
and after,
CLAs, I was telling you about.
or lab panels, essentially.
Man, listen.
So
There's Ireland justice right there. Dad and I both use this line on our in this. What is it now? Dad and I both use this in lieu of narcotics and pharmaceuticals. It's all natural, THC free, and the results are amazing. So that is the one that I've been using, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the bad to the bone, dude.
I mean, when it can, I'm not saying there's no bit narcotic in this, but when you got people who are used to narcotics and they're finding relief, I mean, that's pretty
and
monumental.
they're actually cutting down
That's
on
the
their-
good Lord right there,
Yeah,
man.
Exactly.
That's him blessing people with the knowledge to help.
Glory be to him for it.
Amen. And this is just, you take this lady right here, and she's an elderly lady. My mom hurt so bad with her sciatic nerve, she couldn't walk, and I put Bose cream on her, and she is walking now. Now you think about that. I believe that 100%.
It's true. It's true.
So it does help sciatic nerve.
Yes.
Absolutely. I used to suffer with that.
My
bad
wife
sciatica.
does too, man.
And oh man, it's horrible.
A psoriasis patch at the bend of the knee is no match for Appalachian Heals 11. After only 3 applications, this lady, like I said, you can see, probably not good, but
There's the pictures.
yeah, the pictures are on here, and you could probably go to the Facebook page.
Yeah, they're on the
Those
Facebook
cracker
page.
alerts.
I'll share that tonight. I'll make sure to get that out too, because this is, he's got testimonials here, man, and
these are real people that really gets back with us.
this one right here, I'm going to read to you guys. It's from Charles. You think he'd care?
No.
Something? Charles Fraley is 69 years old. He said, I'm 69 years old. I've worked underground for over 35 years. And I'd say coal miners, their bodies, their knees.
They take a beat.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I have 2 major surgeries on my left ankle, a torn ligament in my right ankle. I need a knee replacement surgery on both knees. The left is worse than the right. He said, I quit taking pain pills with the help of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and now I rely only on my Appalachian 11 cream from Bo Matheny.
Yeah.
I got it right that time. Yeah, I'm getting better. Bo Matheny, which I apply to those affected areas once every other day. So he's doing it once every other day.
Yeah.
If you can find anything more effective for the pain relief than that, I would love to hear about it. This cream is the most effective pain relief cream I have ever used. And Charles, I second that. Like, I can tell you that. I mean, just dude, this stuff is this was like, I'm proud of you guys, man. Like, I'm so glad I came across y'all, and
we are too. It's just been a pleasure. That's rosacea right here. You can see what the AW did.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wear a CPAP mask. Okay. Like, I've got sleep apnea. So
yeah,
like, the mask is pretty tight through here, and it's red. Like, you'll see me some days and it won't be as bad, but there's certain days where you can tell where I've almost rubbed raw.
Well, now that you pointed out, I mean,
you can tell now, right? Well, I'm hoping, I'm excited to give this a day in court on that and let it and see, because there's days, man.
Yeah, we know you'll let us know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm telling you right now, I need to get a sticker of y'all or something put up down here in my room, because like I said, I've got people messaging me. I mean, right before we sit down to do this episode, I had people messaging wanting a jar. I mean, no joke. Right? But diaper rash. I mean,
Dale, a friend of mine, they took his granddaughter, been to the doctor a few times. They could not get rid of the diaper rash, and she actually quit walking.
Oh gosh, that miserable.
Painful. Yeah. So they were having to carry her, and Dale told me, I said, come over to the house. And I got something. He's like, no, I can't put that on. He started thinking about the menthol and cayenne. I said, no, Dale, we make another one, the AW. I said, come over and get it. Let's fix it. He calls me back. He says, 5 minutes after we put that on her, she's walking again. He said, the next diaper change, she had a few spots left from the rash, but most of it already cleared up. And then the following diaper change, it was completely cleared.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
No, you can't.
There's just. Well, that was actually off his Facebook. He sent me
this is pretty cool right here. This is the mission of Bo's Tractor Works right here, and it's really cool. We're a small family company with faith in God and priority in both family and company. We believe that God provided us with plants for many purposes, in particular, maintaining good health and elevating a multitude of both physical and mental ailments. Our hemp is grown locally here on the family farm in the same location that it is cured, processed, and packaged and labeled for sale. This frees us from the common excessive expense of transportation and processing, thus allowing us to honor our commitment, providing the highest quality CBD products available on the lowest cost possible. And that's just like we talked about, man. That's just the good Lord. Yeah. I mean, blessing y'all with the knowledge and
the opportunity, and we're just grateful for it.
Yeah,
it's a
blessing.
He
had shows had to. I'm not that smart. He had to do.
Well, listen, you just seen it. I can't barely read, but I got through that one pretty good. So I needed to get that one across good. Listen, before we go, a few questions. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yeah,
eggs.
Really?
Eggs are pretty good. Yeah.
A lot of anything that's got a lot of good stuff for you in it. I feel like that's what you're gonna like. So, what about you, Will? Would you say eggs too?
I would say probably. I love spinach, raw leaf spinach.
What about asparagus?
I like asparagus. I like kale. Dark leafy greens. I don't like them steamed or cooked. I like them raw.
Raw.
Yeah.
It's like
I can sit and eat that like potato chips.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to where. I like asparagus. I'll put them in the air fryer though, and I'll get them a little bit crispy there.
Yeah.
But raw, I could probably eat them raw. Probably good for you too. Cleans you out. I mean, any of the leafy greens, that's really good for you. Favorite music?
Favorite music? I'm gonna go like 70s rock, John Cougar.
Oh gosh, John Cougar. That's what my walkout music was when I thought was crumbling down.
Oh yeah,
that was what I come out to. John Cougar is one of my favorites, man.
He's good.
What about you, Will? Would you say?
I drift back and forth. For the most part, I've always liked heavy metal, death metal. But I real big on the honestly the hair metal thing. Motley
Oh, I
Crue,
love.
Def
Well, yeah,
Leppard.
yeah.
I mean, I can.
Which brings me to my next question: David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar and Van Halen?
David Lee Roth.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, me too.
Absolutely.
He's like, David Lee
Sammy
Roth.
tried, but
I love
David-
Sammy.
I thought he was great, but
He was, but I
he
mean,
wasn't
you
Dave.
can't. It's hard. Dave's voice just
Mm.
that wailing voice.
Dave is a lot of my wrestling. People don't realize he's a big influence. I'm influenced by rock music also.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of my stuff in the ring is brought by Axl Rose or David Lee Roth or
Yeah.
something like, there's things I pick up. But David Lee Roth, man, a lot of my stuff in the ring, like my taunting and stuff, is
Mhm.
from Diamond David D. Roth.
He's just a vocal gymnast.
Well,
I mean,
he's a pretty bad dude for real too.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a martial. He was still a martial artist. He's still, and I would give anything. I thought about that today when I was hauling dirt. I was like, man, I'd give anything just to reach out to David Lee Roth and say, man, I'm a nobody. Give me a chance. Give me an interview with you, and we'll have some fun.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean,
You don't know.
all you can do is say no or nothing. I mean,
Probably won't even read. Probably not going to operate a computer.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, that's a tough.
I'll
one.
tell you what. What's your favorite genre of movie?
Action.
Oh gosh, I love action movies.
I'll tell you, one of my favorites since I was a kid, True Lies. Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold. Man,
that was a good one.
I never even knew that was Bill Paxton in that movie. Who was? It was a guy that was like the car salesman that she was having
It is, isn't
I
it?
didn't know that for the longest, but that's how good of an actor he was, man.
That hair and mustache threw it off. Yeah.
Yes, I never knew that.
Oh, yeah. I
True-
can see it now, though.
True Lies is an underrated action film.
It really is.
It
It's like
is-
a perfect spy film with the right action, the whole anti-terrorism.
Jamie Lee Curtis did a great job in that movie.
She
too.
did.
And who's their daughter was a big name actor.
Yeah. I just keep wanting to call her Dana because that was her name in the movie. I can't think of
That's
what
going to kill me. Yeah, that's going to kill me. True Lies, that's the movie to watch right now. That's the pick. Heck of a spy movie. It's got comedy in it. Tom Arnold's always if they ever done a sequel that even in their older age, I think they could get away with doing a True Lies sequel.
I'd say you're right.
Now, Bo, what would you say? You like a Predator guy.
That was.
I don't even hardly watch TV.
You're out on the farm 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. I watch whatever Jackie's got on TV when I go in. I mean, like Smoking a Bandit or something.
Oh gosh, there you go.
Hey, underrated. Some that a lot of people you don't hear the name anymore, but some of the goofier Clint Eastwood movies, Any Which Way But Loose,
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Any Which Way You Can.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right
those
Turn,
were.
Clyde.
Yeah.
those
Man, Any Which Way But Loose was that one.
I'm hardening.
For some reason, I don't know why. This is how work my mind is. But I always considered The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy and Any Which Way. I guess it's where the bikers are after.
Yeah.
I guess I don't many people don't know The Golden Child. That was the only movie. This is a fast fact of the Newsom family. Growing up, my brother Rocky was like loved Eddie Murphy raw, sneaking, watching Beverly Hills Cop.
Mhm.
So he got to watch The Golden Child. He got to rent that because that's PG-13. So got to watch a lot of Golden Child when I was a kid. But I mean, thank you guys for being on, man.
Well, thanks for
it's
having
been
It's been good. I enjoy it.
I've had a blast.
Yeah.
well. Listen, don't be strangers. We're going to push this product, man. Like I said, I want to get a sticker. I want to put down here that way because I got a lot of kids. I've got older. I'm starting getting adults coming down here also and doing private sessions. So that's going to
Good.
help them tremendously.
Yeah.
And myself, heck, I know what I'm going to be putting on my elbows and shoulders now.
When you went to leg day,
Yeah,
Oh,
where
yeah.
would you suggest putting it
your whole leg.
on your tray? Yeah, because now there's days.
All the way down to your.
Mhm. So you.
I put it on my feet.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
Yeah.
why I wear black socks.
I had to,
Yeah.
I had to quit doing squats because my knees were killing me. So I do the leg press machine now. I do like I'll start out with a 45 on each side, go 20. I'll add a 45, go 18. So
Yeah, you pyramid it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I'll go.
That's what I do.
And my leg day's not as traumatic as a lot of them. Like older, the older I get, I'll go from the leg press machine to my calf raises, do 2 sets of 75. I'll go over and do my goblet squats with a heavy kettlebell. I've got a 70 pound kettlebell that I'll do 3 sets of 10 with. and that targets those quads big time.
Yeah.
And then I'll do my leg extensions, 2 sets of 30. And that's about as far as it goes, really, because now I was doing, I was heavy squatting over here, and it was getting bad on my knees. And then I really spooked myself one day deadlifting.
You hurt yourself.
You know that deadlift is dangerous.
I don't do it no more. I've got the hex bar though. Now it's a little bit It's a little bit more safe. But I had done over 500 pounds at the meet, and I was like, well, I'm gonna start getting back into deadlift. So I was warming up with 135 pounds, just warming up, and I went down on like the 3rd rep, and I didn't even get a chance to make it back up. As soon as I went down, it felt like somebody snuck up and stabbed me in the back with a machete.
Yeah.
And it scared me so bad that I was scared to raise up. I was scared to try to raise up.
I'd say so.
And I was like, man, I went to the doctor, and I was just scared to death what they were going to tell me.
Yeah.
And they were like, it looks like you've just got a pinched nerve, some arthritis. And I was like, so I didn't mess myself up severely. And they said,
no, you're thinking, oh, it's separated. Oh, it tore it.
Oh man, vertebrae snapped or something. And I was like, that ain't even much weight. I'm warming up. But that just goes to show you how important form is on everything.
It really is.
Because, I probably had the ugly form or went down too fast or something.
I'll tell you, those are the things I've never maxed out on is squat and deadlift. I don't want to.
Right.
And I don't want to get to that point to where, like you said, what if it was something worse?
Well, it could have been. I mean, it could have been. And, the guy that plays Leatherface in part 3, R.A. Mihailoff, he was a former pro wrestler. And we got to talking about working out. And he told me, he said, out of my squat, I think I was warming up with 135, just warming up. And he said, I've never done, I put it back, never fool with it again. And that's kind of like, I like the leg press because of that.
Yeah.
I don't have the stress on my back.
Right.
And
it's kind of more targeted, more isolated.
Yeah. And you can move your feet different positions. You can work quad. You can do calf raises on it actually, but I just target my, my hands and my, just what I can get out of my legs.
They're wide enough. You can do like a regular squat, hack squat.
Yeah, it's been they donated it. Real good guy from Wilde donated that here for the kids, and I took full advantage of it on Wednesdays. Usually, that's my leg day.
That's my leg and shoulder on Wednesday.
Thursday is heavy day, and it's like going to war. I mean, it's like it takes me about 2 hours to go because I do. When I do upper, I go bench press, I go incline, I go Viking press. Over there, that Viking press, man, will really help your shoulders, broaden out. It's like an overhead press deal over there.
Yeah.
And it is tremendous. And then I do bent over rows with my V grip bar over there. And then I do my back, tricep pull downs, close grip and wide grip. And then I do my pulls. And then I do my curls and triceps. And it takes about 2 hours and 10 minutes.
I'd say it's going quick too.
Yeah. I mean, it's moving.
Yeah. Through it.
Because you got to bench in 340, 5 sets of 4. Some days I'll go through it and feel like I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life. Like I'll go 5 sets of 4, don't need a spotter, lifter. And then some days I'll get there and hit 3 and just rack it and walk around, come back and hit that 4th one. Say, hey, Lindsay, come down here and lift off for me. But it's and another thing I've noticed, I don't know if you guys, y'all work out a lot and stuff, but when I was benching sets of 330, I would do 5 sets of 5. Never had no elbow pain, but it's like a curse that when I go up to 340, buddy, that's when it comes. I don't know what it is. But
is that the only time your elbow hurts is doing that?
No, that's what makes it hurt. That's what brings on the pain for the rest of the.
See, mine hurts on stupid stuff like tricep extension.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Mine will be sometimes. Like that stupid stuff. Like I'll be just doing curls and I'll go to alternating. All right.
Yeah.
What was that? Really?
Even my forearm through here, man, and wrist. Like I've noticed when I go to do cross body curls it's the wrist almost, man. But I think this stuff right here may just
it does.
It'll work
because I've been doing push-ups on my fist, because it just hurts too much. But now, I'll rub out on it and it makes it tolerable.
I've had to quit push-ups, man. I've had to quit them for my elbow and my shoulder. Like I dislocated my shoulder 2 or 3 times boxing.
That sucks because that's such a good. People underestimate the push-ups.
Yeah. There's so many variations of them too. That's man. It. I mean, you can do military, you can do wide grip, you can do diamonds.
You throw your nose in the diamond.
Yes, cat. I mean, And I was doing a lot of those when Brandon was training me. I mean, we didn't even lift heavy. Like I put 135 on there and I'd do it like 30 times. And on the 30 rep, I just hold it up as long as I could for muscle endurance, you know, because we wasn't focusing on being strong.
He was good for wild stuff like that too, out of nowhere.
I mean, he would have me benching just odd and
stuff you don't think about.
He was so knowledgeable on that stuff, man. But you guys have you ever thought about taking these to the gym? You ever talked to Jacob Goble down here at East Kentucky Barbell or anything?
No, we don't, because I'm like you, got my own little setup right there at the house, so I don't never get out and go to none.
Listen, East Kentucky Barbell is down here at Iville. Jacob Goble is a really good friend of mine, and maybe you could drop in one day and show him how this, because he's getting ready to have 2 knee replacement surgeries, I think.
Well, he needs this.
And he's such a wonderful dude. I've actually got a podcast on Anchor, and I got to where I steered away from the audio and like doing these videos better. But I had him on my audio one, and we talked forever about working out and the do's and don'ts and just old UFC stuff. And Jacob's a good dude. I'm telling you, I would hit up Every Hour Fitness. I'd hit up East Kentucky Barbell, these MMA figure 4 over on Chloe. I just tell them, man, if y'all are interested in.
But once again, you get back to where they've already tried so much junk. I mean, and you walk in and you're like,
it's probably no surprise to you. They're like, this is snake oil.
Yeah.
Tell them to holler at me.
Yeah. and I understand. I get it. Yeah.
They've seen it done.
I've tried it. I've tried all the other stuff before. Because like I said, I've been doing this my whole life. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I was the same way.
You walk in, and what got us was a lot. And Rasmus's Denny, he's like, man, that stuff is real.
Denny's having some issues too, and for him, he's another guy that can vouch and say, it's just helping because
exactly.
And anybody, like if you're a pro wrestler, I don't care if you've wrestled 1 match or you've wrestled 1,000. When you bump, it ain't pleasant.
No.
And when I used to wrestle 20-minute matches with, me and Michael Jameson or Kobe Carmichael, there was days, and I'm not nowhere near as seasoned or got the schedule as some of these other guys. And like that Saturday night till like Wednesday, I felt it.
Yeah.
And if I would have had this back in the BCW era, I'd probably been more resilient, But it was a real smart decision to take it to the pro wrestling community, because Stan Sierra, another good dude, man. I always thought the world of Stan, awesome worker. Me and him was sitting back there just talking about it, man. And he's like, that's the real deal. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how quick it worked.
And it just, you can't hardly explain it to somebody until they try it.
They have to try it. It's almost like having a panic attack. Unless you've been through it, you can't really, you can't describe it.
Because if I do sit here and try to tell you, it's going to sound like snake oil.
It's
a miracle. I mean, that's, but you don't know that until you experience it.
That's it. So, and listen, if you are looking to get a jar of this, the AW, is it the AW or
the
Hills or the AW?
AW one.
The number to get a hold of Bo, it says right here, 606-205-2668. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you want to get up with him, give him a call. And is it pretty easy to get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's my cell phone line right there.
And I'm sure that you can ride over to Coon Creek, which is Pike County.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, do you ship it off?
Yeah, we ship it all over the country.
Listen, I've got a lot of friends on here now all over the United States. So if you are looking for something to ease that pain, I promise you, I am not lying. I am shooting straight. This stuff is the real deal. Bo, thank you, my man, for being on. Will of a big bearded muscle man. Should have been in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Do you take good care of your beard? Because it looks awesome.
I literally just shower, dry it off, and comb.
You don't put no wax or no. Really?
I used to oil it, but that was more or less just to kind of tame it a little bit. But now I don't even do nothing. I just I get out of the shower, I dry it off with the towel, and I just comb it down. Well, and that's it.
I'll tell you what, it's a heck of a beard, man. Look at there on the head, dark, full, and straight down. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Bo, Will, And Ireland, he really stuck it to us tonight. He should have been here.
Well, we had my other son Wayne, who's the one that actually comes up with a lot of the numbers, and
he's a lot of the behind the scenes work.
Yeah,
really. Why didn't he come?
He said, "I don't like to talk."
He really does. He's more of a work. He don't talk much. He gets into
Well, so this is a big family business, then, ain't it?
Yeah.
He puts his head down and gets to it.
Well, I tell you what, man.
I grew up with Ireland. He lives right below the house.
Yeah. So y'all are lifelong buddies.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool that you got your best childhood friend helping you and stuff. Listen, get up with him. I promise you. I'm gonna share this. You guys share it. Hey, listen, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I've been trying to read and talk a lot, and I can't read good, and I talk it a lot.
So it's getting late too.
It is getting a little bit late. I'm going to get this up tonight, guys, and we got to keep pressing this. We got to keep pushing this because it can benefit so many people.
And our stuff is money back guaranteed. If
you
it
hear
don't
that?
Work for you, you don't even pay for it.
That's it. And if you don't want to do that, just send it my way, and I'll use it.
And that's how we maintain. We're honest and trustworthy.
Good people, man. Just great people. Family business, helping everybody. Listen, we're gonna get this up for you guys. Thank you so much for being on here, Will.
Thank you for having me.
Wild Time Podcast. Tune in next time.